Kev. 22 minutes to 8 then. It's Steve with you on Breakfast in Dorset. And let's tell you more about this story now. A Portland man who raised more than £100,000 to help reconstruct the face of a young Bosnian boy is hoping to set a new world record for his latest charity venture. Wayne Ingram began raising money back in 2003 when he first met Stefan Savic while he was on peacekeeping duties. The then 4-year-old had been born with a facial deformity which left him with no proper nose. After several operations, Stefan now has a new face. He's just had braces fitted ahead of his neck surgery in 2017. And in the meantime, Wayne set himself a new challenge to raise money for Great Ormond Street Hospital's Family Centre. In May, he'll spend 7 days and nights in a life raft at Portland Marina. And he joins me in the studio this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, sir.
You mentioned this to me last time you were in. I think we were keeping it under wraps for the time being. But the cat is out of the bag now. So tell me a bit more about what it is you are aiming to do.
I'd like to give back to the UK. All the fundraising that I've been doing over the last 10 years has been for children from other countries. There's been Stefan. There's been an orphanage in Africa when I was out there. So now it's my turn to give back to Great Ormond Street, to repay them for the amazing efforts that they do for all the children there, but also it's my way to give back to everybody in Dorset and the rest of the country who have donated to Stefan. Yeah.
Great Ormond Street were involved in the work that went on with Stefan, weren't they?
Yeah, Dr. Dave Dunn is an amazing man. He waived all his costs and every operation has been carried out at Great Ormond Street by the professional staff there. So yeah, so they've been involved for the whole time. So by the family centre, if I give back to the family centre, then everybody has the potential to gain from this. So that's my thing. And
I don't know, the work that they do at the family centre, what kind of stuff is it?
It provides free accommodation for families who can't pay for accommodation and their child's been admitted. It gives food for breastfeeding mothers, schooling for the children, a multi-faith religious service. So there's lots of other things that happens. It's not just for beds. There's lots of things that happen. So it's going to get back to them.
I think people overlook that sometimes when they think about the trauma that a family goes through when their child is being treated. They don't consider the arrangements that they have to make just to continue their lives. Living around them, visiting them, being near them, all that kind of stuff, and especially in London.
It's an added stress that the parents really don't need. I mean, you've got the stress of the child going to hospital, which is traumatic for anybody. But on top of that, you've got the cost of London hotels and so forth. And Great Ormond Street say, look, okay, if you can't afford it, then speak to us and we can help out.
So good work that they do. You've come up with this idea of living in a raft. Now, you've at least been sensible enough to wait until sort of spring, summertime. You're not going out there in the winter, which is, I think, justifiable. But what exactly is it you're doing? You're not even taking enough food for the week.
No. Well, the idea was going to spend 7 days, 7 nights in a life raft in Portland Marina, Portland Harbour. Yeah. When I gave the idea to the harbour master, he said you completely start raving mad.
Did he use those words, or was it something more Anglo-Saxon?
Something that a mariner would use,
right,
I would imagine.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, no problems at all. So we all went through, and they said, yeah, okay. I approached Ocean Safety, and I must say, without Ocean Safety Southampton, this wouldn't happen. Yeah. They're going to supply the raft. They're going to supply the equipment. They've been really supportive the whole time.
And what's the raft look like?
It's really tiny. I must have been some buffoon because I thought a 4-man raft would have been huge. Yeah. Have a dining table lot, but literally I can hardly even spread out in it.
Because you're 6'2" or something, aren't you?
Yeah, 6'2". Right. So it's going to test me. It's going to test me in all levels. I like my food. Yeah. I get claustrophobic if I stay indoors all the time, and I get seasick watching the girls swimming at Boscawen Centre doing their lessons. So all those 3 things are going to test me because the idea was to go in there for 7 days, have 3 days worth of food and water, and survive for the remaining 4. However, over Sunday lunch, on Sunday, I was talking to my eldest daughter Freya and saying, look, Daddy's going to survive for 4 days. And my wife Cara said, well, why don't we do 6? 4 days is really easy. So now we've upped it to 6 days without food and water.
Thanks, Cara. Thanks for that. Yeah, what, you're going to fish?
Yeah, going to fish.
How is your fishing?
It's shocking. No, but literally, I'm going to dangle a lure over the side. Using an osmosis pump for water. I must say that Dane Bowers has contacted me who used to be in another level.
Yeah.
He wants to come and spend 48 hours with me. you know, he's really enthusiastic. So Dane's going to come down.
How did he hear about it?
He's a friend of a friend for the family, really.
Yeah.
Through my auntie, she's best friends with his mum. I literally contacted him contacted her via an email.
Yeah.
And the next morning, Dane had sent an email and then phoned me and said, "Yeah, please, I want to do more for charity. Can you please let me stay on? However, I don't want to do just a couple of hours. I want to do 24 hours or 48 hours." So I'm after celebrities. Any celebrity that wants to come on board me, then please feel free.
Well, I've already said that I'll pop on board for a short while, but I've clearly been bested by Dane Bowers here. There's a sentence I never thought I'd say.
No, I'm looking forward to it.
And the hope is, I mean, it's cool because you've got Mike Tipson from Portsmouth University who's going to monitor you. He's a sort of expert in extreme conditions,
yes.
And you're hoping this is going to be a world record as well.
Well, Mike's been involved because Mike wants to carry out experiments on me. So hopefully, with the information gained, we'll then go towards helping other people in a survival situation. Because unless it's not actually been done for longer than 24 hours that we've seen, it's always been in a survival situation. So they can't really gather the information because it's always just too late.
Yeah.
You're in that situation. So he's going to do that, and yeah, so he's going to do that and.
See if it's a world record. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so world record. I apologise. The world record, we spoke to Guinness Book of Records. They said, yeah, we can't say no one else has done it. So they're looking into it at the moment to see whether it is a world record. And if it is, then, yeah, something else to add towards it.
We will keep an eye on things between now and May. Have you got a particular date, or is it going to be weather dependent as to when you start?
No, the actual start date is the 18th of May, midday on the 18th of May until the 25th of May. I must say on the 14th of February this year, a guy called Graham Butler and I will be conducting a Valentine's party in Portland. He's running the London Marathon for the Lullaby Trust for a friend of his. I'm going to be doing the Great Ormond Street. So there's a party in Portland, £6 a ticket. Everything's going to go towards those two charities. On the 11th and the 12th of April is the Fish and Ships down in Portland Marina. Dane Bowers is going to come down for that. So if anyone wants to see him, then please come down. And my website is www.wayneingram.com, with all the information about this one and everything else can be seen on there.
All right, good to see you again. We'll talk again, I'm no doubt, before the 18th of May. Wayne Ingram raising money for Great Ormond Street Hospital by living in a life raft for 7 days in May.